First and foremost, getting old, I give it 1 star, would not recommend. When you're younger and something happens to you, that people are like, oh, when you get right up,
I'm fine.
you're not fine. All you're doing is taking that event and you're putting it on your tab. Your bill will come due.
Oh, don't think I'm not getting paid.
What I mean by that, I had this thing a while ago, shoulder injury. All of a sudden, I have this shoulder issue. Laterally, I can't even pick up a glass. Like, I can't even reach over with my left hand and pick up a glass. Can't do that. I had an MRI with contrast, without contrast. In the machine, got all the results. 4 or 5 doctors looked over it. No idea what's wrong with me.
Hurry up. I have a 10 a.m. tea time.
What's an MRI anyway?
I think it means mind-reading instrument.
Problem that we're having is that my shoulder isn't really torn up enough to cause the pain that it was. I couldn't lift anything laterally with my left arm. Nothing lateral. I went to Mexico and I got 200 million stem cells. They spun my blood down. They took the portion at the top, put the stem cells in it, and stuck my blood along with the stem cells back into my shoulder. Tendons, the ligaments, probably stuck. I would say 50 times, wouldn't be exaggerated. It was a lot of times. Nobody can really tell me what's going on. A few days ago, all of a sudden my arm starts to hurt, my left arm, my bicep. And I feel this and I'm like, holy shit. What I found out was my bicep tendon, because it's bicep, 2 muscles, there's a long head, a short head. The long head here just decided to disassociate itself from my shoulder and just gone. Like, boom, it's no longer attached here. It's here, coiled up in here. The fuck is that? I'm thinking, okay, that can't be good. I pull up the MRI and I go to ChatGPT and I say, explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old. It comes back and it says, basically, your bicep muscle is hanging on by a thread. It's all ripped up. It's not even in the right place. So I make an appointment with an orthopedic specialist. He says, I'm very comfortable saying that all your shoulder problem, all the rest of these things that were happening to you were because muscle up there wasn't even in the right place. So again, 4 or 5 different doctors looked over the MRI results. Not one of them came back and said, hey, this possibly be from that. Would have been nice to know. Here's another issue that could have happened. If my arms weren't decent sized, because I work out, there's this thing called Popeye Arm, apparently. As your bicep muscle disengages from your shoulder and just falls off of the bone, it goes and it wraps itself right around in here. If you don't have larger arms, it looks like Popeye's forearm, just a big like lump. So you get this one thing here and then this one isn't. That would look absolutely ridiculous. I would have to get that fixed, to be honest with you. If you really look at it, you can tell. That's an impressive bicep right there. That's not mine. I'm not giving myself credit. I'm saying my bicep detaching and coming right here, that's really not that bad. In fact, I was like, hey, if I detach this one, you get this one down here, I may never have to work out again because I don't care how strong I am. I want to look good naked. That's all I want. However that happens, okay, fine. It's not like I'm like, oh boy, I have to work out. Anyhow, so I talked to the doctor, the orthopedic guy, and I said, okay, what are we going to do about it? Like, we're going to reattach it? He said, no, we don't. It just sits there. I said, well, is it just going to atrophy? And my body's just going to eliminate it, after? He says, no. He says, still connected down here. It stinks. It's working. Whenever you do a contraction, it actually fires. It just isn't connected up here. So it's alive and it's working just like it always would, just isn't doing anything. So I said, well, what does that mean? He said, you might lose 10% of your strength in that bicep. I said, that's it. 10% of my strength is gone. I said, yeah. He said, the shorter one's still connected and in great shape. You can do everything that you did before. He said, most people don't even notice it. I'm like, well, okay, that doesn't sound horrible. We just leave it where it is and we just go on about our life. He said, yeah, just for the next week or so, just, take it light on the weights. And after that, just go back to doing what you were doing. I'm like, okay. Logically, there's something screwed up when one of your tendons or ligaments, sort of the hell it is, it just isn't attached anymore. It just doesn't seem right. Good. Doesn't seem good. Apparently, it's really not an issue. I said, why don't we go back in and reattach? He said, because the surgery to go back in and do the reattachment could conceivably do a lot more harm than having you just sit there on a 10% reduction in strength. Basically, he was like, what are you bitching about? And I'm like, well, I'm bitching because my friggin' tendon is not attached anymore.
Why do they always include extra parts when they're clearly not necessary to maximize the structural integrity of the product?
I got a unicep. I don't have a bicep. As you get older, shit's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen. You don't know how severe it's going to be. All that damaged sport that the Army and the golf, all of the stuff that comes around that you think when you're younger, you're getting a free ride, but the meter is ticking and you're going to have to get out of the car sometime. When you get out of the car, you're going to have to pay the bill. I wouldn't go back and not play sport. You have to live your life. I'm just saying nothing is free. See, there is no way in hell that my bicep would be that big. I mean, I wish it was. There's bruising right here still. That's pitiful. Look at that. I gotta work out with this arm to get it to this arm now. Obviously getting old isn't evident, but feeling old and looking old, that's a choice.